Hello there friends and welcome back to Simple Essentials. Today we're going to dive straight into a decluttering project of this Harry Potter cupboard under the stairs in our house. If you haven't seen the full house tour of this house, I will link it up here. I'm about to do a new one with furniture and everything in it. But this cupboard is very dark, so apologies for the lighting. I did my very best with headlamps and other things to make sure you could see what I was doing. But this cupboard is under the stairs in our new house, and it has become a bit of a dumping ground for all sorts of things. So we've got sun hats, bags, we've got, this light is actually really handy. It's from Aldi. It's a sensor light. I've turned it on for the entirety of this video, but it is a sensor light and it's rechargeable, so it's pretty good. In here we've got random shoes because this is near the front door to our house. So surplus shoes and stuff, Christmas decorations. You can see it's just a right hodgepodge. I don't even know what's in some of these bags here. Life jackets, because we've got a couple of kayaks in a different spot, which we haven't used for ages. So we've got life jackets in here. Of course, the cat is mega excited. So this is the decluttering project we're dealing with today. And back here we just have all sorts of stuff. So it's not too bad. We don't have too much inventory, but it's not very well organized. So I am going to, by the way, I hit my head on that thing all the time. You will see it later on in this video as well. I did bonk my head twice whilst doing this project. So this is what we're going to dive into today. So naturally I have my little kitty cat helper here. We found one of her toys as well, which is not meant to be in here, but anyway. Fun fact, this space here was a completely blank canvas when we moved in, but the shelf you see in the background, the wine racks and the carpet tiles on the floor, I actually picked up all of them for free on Facebook Marketplace. And it's just a really good tip for you. If you're trying to organize a space on a tight budget or you've just moved house or something, have a look on Marketplace or local pay it forward groups. There's quite often people getting rid of stuff that can be really useful. So yeah, getting all the stuff out of this space, and this is what the hallway looked like there. That big plastic bag there is drop sheets for painting, so that's going out into the garage. We've got leftover carpet, a fan, my luggage, random stuff. But in here we've got this beautiful chessboard that Paul got from his granddad, so we're going to put some legs on that and turn it into a table. And in here we've got sort of spare shoes. We're near our front door. We've got hats and gloves and scarves and things here. So because it's summer in Australia right now, we don't really need hats and scarves and gloves. And back here we've just now got the box from my Christmas tree. If you're curious about how much I keep in terms of Christmas decorations, hi Lumi, I have a separate video on that. But now we're going to start, I guess, just sort of stacking things back. And that big bag, like I said, is going into the garage. The Christmas decorations, for some reason, not all of the items made it into the box that's meant to contain them. This happens all the time in our house. I'm sure it does in yours too, where you just have a bag of random stuff that goes on top of something else and then it never really gets put away. But that's totally fine. And moving right along to the suitcase. So one of my best tips, especially because I've rented in very small spaces in the past, is keep all of your luggage inside other luggage. So we've got a big hiking backpack that actually lives inside the suitcase with all of our packing cubes. So when we're going on holidays, everything is in the one place. Then we've got our kind of hiking packs. That bag there that I'm putting to the side is kind of a work bag. So I'm going to check with my husband if he actually wants to keep that. The other 3 bags we use for sort of day hikes and that sort of stuff. So it's starting to look pretty good in here. I've sort of organized this shelf, or starting to organize this shelf a little bit. So on the top there, I've just got some random sort of shoe polish and shoe related things. Those there are our reef shoes, which are really good for swimming if you're going to sort of a rocky place. So I'm putting those bags there on the top shelf. You'll see it in a bit. And then I have this bottom shelf all of a sudden all available. We've got the, bonked my head. Like I told you, I bonked it twice whilst doing this video. And then I have these bits and bobs. So the nakey thing there is a hammock, which we sometimes hang in our backyard. I've got my vacuum seal bag thingies and the flower pot. So just sort of trying to put things and group them a little bit. These life jackets, they just take up so much room, but we do need them the few times we do go kayaking. So I just zip them up to make them a little bit less sprawly, and you'll see in the space in a little bit as well. So it's starting to look pretty good here, but I did find a couple of other things that are actually travel related. That green thing in my hand is a backpack cover for our big travel backpack. So again, putting all the things together where you can. Luggage is obviously a tricky thing. We only really have the one hard suitcase and one sort of soft backpack, so it's working out quite well for us. Another really clever thing is to take your seasonal things. So that black thing I just rolled in there is a panel heater that lives in my office usually. But because it's summertime now, I'm going to put the heater away and put the chessboard behind it there and take that pedestal fan into my office. I did double check that backpack with my husband, the one I put aside earlier, and he said he wanted to have it as his carry-on bag for traveling. So I'm taking it and shoving it into this now very full bag. And I ended up taking that big blue IKEA bag out because I thought to myself, when are we ever going to use that for traveling? It's probably more likely for hiking or something like that. So I've actually taken it out of the travel suitcase so we remember that we have it, and I'm going to put it visibly here in the shelf so that if and when we need it, we can actually use it for camping or transporting things. So it should work out a little bit better. And this is what's left in the hallway. We've got some kitty litter and some cat stuff, a cat scratcher. That fan, like I said, is going into my office. And it's starting to look pretty clean. And we've only got one little area left, which is this station on the door. This is just an over the door hook that we bought here. And because this is near our front door, I've got the rolly things to roll cat fur off my clothes before I head out. I've got some scarves here, which kind of don't really need to be there because it's summertime now. So I'm going to go put them with the winter hats and gloves, etc. We've got a bunch of reusable bags that are good to have right by the door, and our rain and wind coats. We live down by the coast, so it gets pretty cold and windy here sometimes, even in the summer. So having our raincoats handy is really good. So this is what we ended up with. It's not the prettiest, but it works really well for the two people in our household. So we've got the umbrella, we've got the pet lint roller thing, we've got some sports caps for sun protection, which is really good to have here right by the door, one for Paul and one for me. And then we've got our reusable shopping bags. We've just got 2 or 3 or so. I've got a bunch in the car. I've got one in my handbag. I don't like using plastic. And here in Australia and most places, plastic bags are actually getting harder and harder to come across. So it's really nice to just have that available. And then moving inside, I've left the umbrella here right by the door, and also the fire extinguisher is nice and close there. The floor is very clear, which is nice. It's the cleanest it's probably been in a while. We buy our wine online, by the way, which is why those wine racks are pretty stacked at the moment, but we normally get them from sort of online deals and stuff. So up here we've got those hiking packs and the plastic bags we talked about to kind of use for duvets and things like that. And then we've just got our gloves and hats and beanies and things like that, which will be very handy to have near the door in the winter time. Some of our hiking shoes and other items below, and yeah, it turned out really good. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today. This project turned out really great. I'm really excited with how neat it looks. I got rid of a bunch of things. I think I still need a little shelf or something for the modem there that you can see in the picture. But I think it turned out really good, and I've got now, I may or may not move that pot plant stand somewhere else in the house, but for now it can kind of live here. I know where it is, I can easily find it. And up here on this shelf, we've got sort of our reef shoes, our hiking packs, my compression cubes or the compression bags that I use sometimes. And yeah, back here we've got the heater from my office, which no longer needs to be in there because it's summertime in Australia now. Our suitcase with all the items in it that you would have seen, the cat helping out, having a look around, and the life jackets for now. They may or may not move to the garage later, but for now they can kind of live in here. So I'm really happy with how that turned out. Let me know if you have a little Harry Potter cupboard in your world that you need to declutter, and hopefully you found this inspiring.